This isn't the original recording that I had for this video. The original one was full of enthusiasm and excitement. I'd just got my Retroid Pocket 2 Plus and I was really looking forward to playing with it and finally having a machine that was powerful enough to play the games that I wanted to play on the move. However, after playing around with it for a short period of time, I was left with some pretty serious concerns and also a device that I'm just not able to use. So in this video, I'll be showing you exactly what I mean. Now I know that YouTube is littered with people from various channels raving about the Retroid Pocket 2 Plus like it's the best thing since sliced bread. And I was hoping my experience would be similar, but it hasn't been. And I'd rather give you honest feedback about something than join in on all the over-the-top praise that people are giving this device. I also own the original Retroid Pocket 2, which was a nice device that for me failed to realise its full potential due to some bad design decisions on the part of Retroid. The biggest issue is the lack of a touch screen. Have you ever tried using Android without a touch screen? It's not a bad experience, it's a terrible experience. That, combined with the dreadfully underpowered specifications, meant that it just felt like I was using a device that was utterly crippled. It's a shame as the build quality was good. It had a great screen and it was about the only affordable Android retro gaming device of its type on the market. Ultimately, my Retroid Pocket 2 just ended up not being used. When I learned that Retroid were going to be releasing a follow-up that addressed just about all of the issues that bugged me about the original, I was excited, and I made sure I ordered it pretty much as soon as the order page went live, which was towards the end of October last year, 2021. I eventually got my hands on it in early January, charged it up, put on the glass screen protector that came in the box. When I went to load up some games via the micro SD card I'd populated, that's when I hit the first problem. The micro SD card clicked into place nicely, but when it came to removing it, it just wouldn't budge. It's the same spring-loaded mechanism in the Plus as in the original. Push it in once and it clicks into place. Push it in again and it ejects the card. Except with mine, it didn't. The card was stuck inside the device. Now, the card slot on the original and the Plus has always, to my mind, been far too recessed. But even using the tip of a knife to get further in where my fingernails couldn't, the card still wasn't coming out. I did get it to come out after a lot of messing about, but the same problem of it sticking happened a few more times. At the moment, I don't have the problem, and I have no idea why it suddenly started or stopped, or if it will happen again. The touchscreen, which was a feature I was desperate to get, has been another problem area. Sometimes the touch sensitivity is really bad, often requiring multiple attempts to get a touch or a swipe registered. Now, I didn't try the screen before I put on the screen protector that came in the box, so I don't know if this problem is caused by the screen protector or not. But I use glass screen protectors on my phones and other devices, and I've never had this problem before. Besides, like the card slot, this seems to be an intermittent problem, but it's a hell of an annoying one when it happens. So, the real showstopper problem for me is the buttons. All of them feel like they're grating on something and can stick slightly, but the B button is so bad that it makes it impossible to play any game. It'll just stick down and stay down and eventually pop back up a few seconds later. The whole point of this device is to play games, and honestly, this thing just isn't fit for purpose. Despite these problems, I'd been looking forward to getting the Retroid Pocket 2 Plus for so long that I was determined to carry on with my plans to test it and review it. And that meant trying out the different game platforms. But I couldn't do that with the button problems I was having. So, I was going to have to use alternative controls. I figured I'd connect up a Bluetooth controller and use that instead of the built-in controls. Now, I know that reviewing a device such as this without using the built-in controls isn't really reviewing the device itself, but I needed to do something. I've got a few Bluetooth controllers, so I just grabbed one and paired it up with a Retroid Pocket 2 Plus. It was a quick and easy process, but here's the problem. Even though it paired successfully, the controls did nothing. I double checked that I was pairing correctly, which I was, and tried again. Same thing. So I tried another controller. Same thing. Paired but did nothing. I went through 4 controllers before finding one that eventually worked. Now, this is really weird, and I haven't come across anything like this on any other device before. Okay, so at this point you might be saying to yourself, well, hey, instead of just moaning about it, why don't you do something about it? Why don't you contact the company? Well, you know what? That's exactly what I did do. I contacted them, pointed them to a video I had which demonstrated the button problems, explained about the other issues as well, and then heard nothing for a few days. And then something like about 4 or 5 days later, it looked like I'd got a reply, but you know what? It wasn't a reply. It was just my original email bouncing back. I've sent another email. I still haven't had a reply a few days later. Now, I'm going to have another go. Give them another try. They've only got the one email address. It's not like I could be sending it to the wrong one. But I'm going to forward my original email yet again. Give it a few more days. I know that it's Chinese New Year and I know that they're out the office, etc. I mean, you know, that doesn't explain why the mailbox is bouncing. I mean, to me, that's just amateurish. But I really want this device to work. I was looking forward to it for so long. So I'm going to keep at it. And I'll keep you updated as to how I get on.